Alrighty guys, CX here. The new Phasmophobia update has just came out, and so with that, I'm going to be making a video showing you guys how to get the 2023 Halloween recipe done quick and easy. For the first part of the recipe, we're going to head over to Tanglewood Drive. So as soon as you enter the house, head right over to the kitchen. On the left side where the little blue bench is, under that, you'll find the first part of the recipe. Now we're going to head over to Edgefield Road. So if you go upstairs and go all the way to the end with the big blue room, you go to the right side where the desk is, you'll find the second part of the recipe. Next, we're going to head over to Ridgeview Court. So as soon as you enter the house, just go straight down in the basement. On the left side, you'll find the third part of the recipe. Next, we're going to Grafton Farmhouse. So if you stick to the right side, outside, just go straight to the back. In the little pumpkin patch, you will find the fourth part of the recipe. Next up, we have Willow Street. If you leave the truck and instantly go to the leftmost hedge right in front of the house, you will find the fifth part of the recipe. Next up, we're on Bleasdale. So if you go into the house and head straight up to the attic and go over to the rightmost end where the breaker box spawn can be, you'll find the pumpkin sitting right next to some boxes, and that will be your sixth part of the recipe. Now we're on prison. So if you head right into prison, just go straight through the big doors and then the cell, and right before you get to the cafeteria, you go in that little security room, and right at the end, you'll see the pumpkin sitting there with your seventh part of the recipe. Next up, we're on Camp Woodwind. As soon as you go into the gate, go to your left right by the benches, and at the corner of the gate you will see the pumpkin with your eighth part of the recipe. Lastly, we are on Maple Lodge. If you go near the big cauldron on the left side, you'll see the ninth part of the recipe sitting right there. Now that we've acquired all parts of the recipe, we're going to go ahead and go right back on Maple Lodge and put all of them into the cauldron. Alright, now that we're back on Maple Lodge, we're going to go over to the cabin by the lake. We're going to head in there, and to the left side, we're going to see the bowl of grins sitting on the table. We're going to grab that and take it right back to the cauldron. Next up, we're going to have Death's Rot. So as soon as you come into Maple Lodge, if you take a right into the staff's only area, you'll see a box spilt over with 3 rotten apples that you have to pick up, take back to the cauldron, and drop them in. Next up, we have the Toe of Frog. So as soon as you walk in Maple Lodge, if you go into the reception area, on the desk you'll see a blue plushie sitting there. You'll take that back and drop it in the cauldron. Next up, we have the sack of beans. There will be 2 white tents right next to the cauldron. The one right in front of it, you're going to want to go under there, pick up 3 bean bags of any color, and toss them into the cauldron. Next one by far is the easiest. You're just going to grab a flashlight off of the truck and toss it into the cauldron. Next up, we have the Eyes of Bear location. So if you go to the bathrooms right in front of the green and white tents and you go in there, immediately to your right inside the sink, you'll see 2 eyes there that you have to drop into the cauldron. Now we have the Screaming Skull location. So as soon as you go into the reception area and you go out the back where the tiki totem is, you go straight from there and you'll see a log with a skull sitting on it. Take that to the cauldron. Now we're on to the Jar of Mind. So if you go in the reception area where we found the Toe of Frog, as soon as you go in there, take a left and you'll see a jar with a brain sitting in it. Take that to the cauldron. Lastly, we have Love Blossoms. So if you go to the cabin by the dock and you immediately take a right near this like kind of tarp thing, you'll find 2 skeletons sitting there, one holding a flower. Take that flower to the cauldron. Now that you guys have gotten all of the ingredients put in the cauldron, just sit back and enjoy the scenery.